day 540 and we're about to get started. It is 5:38 a.m. And I have no fixed internet connection, so I'm actually running this from a mobile internet connection. So let's go and hope that everything works well. Thanks for dropping by, for saying hi. I hope you're doing well where you are in the morning. For those of you who are tuning in, my name is Toby. I am 40 years old and I train for living a healthy, self-sufficient and active life. I do it by minding my sleep. I try to get between 7 and 9 hours. Last night was 6 hours, so there's some work to be done there tonight. I would like to eat within my energy balance. I mind what I eat, and I eat about 120 to 150 grams of protein every day. I work on my strength training, conditioning training, mobility training, and I try to spend time with people I love and care about, try to do things I enjoy, and try to live generally a stress-free life. And that's how I intend to make it to 80, 90 in good health, because I've understood we're going to get older. We're not necessarily going to enjoy the final 5 years or 10 years of our life as much, due to sometimes preventable diseases and discomforts. And a part of preventing those diseases and discomforts is by using and strengthening my body for what is to come. This is about the way I feel, not about the way I look, for anyone who's wondering. I would like to feel fit, competent and capable for whatever life is going to throw at me. If we look at that through the lens of growing older and stronger, that would mean being able to run across an airport or a train station with my suitcase, be able to get down on the floor and play with my children and then get back up. That would be being able to go out on hikes in nature, and being able to carry either a heavy backpack or one of my children on my shoulder. And the funny thing is, the kids weigh about the same as a range of kettlebells, so 12 and 18 kilos at the moment. So, carrying kettlebells around is a way to prepare myself for whatever life might throw at me. We're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. And I think we sometimes forget when we're on a fitness journey. It doesn't matter where you are in your fitness journey. Your goal can be very personal, but it's the person we are today who's going to get us to where we want to be tomorrow. Like a big KRS TNT, thanks for dropping by, saying hi. I appreciate you coming to the stream and saying hello, and I hope you're doing well where you are in the world. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to drop me a message in the chat. Makes me happy. Thanks for that. Like I said, it's the person we are today who's going to get us to where we want to be tomorrow. And a bit of kindness to ourselves will go a long way, because remember, there are enough people out there who want to put us down, so we need to lift ourselves up every day. All right, friends? And the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. So I'm going to start my every minute on the minute timer. It is 5:42 a.m. and we are going to get started, friends. We're going to warm up towards some snatches, and once we've done the warm-up, we're going to actually do 10 sets of snatches, 5 times on the left, 5 times on the right, and then we're going to move on. But that is already going to be a good 15 minutes of work ahead of us. And someone else dropped by in the chat. Let's see. Why won't you accept my so what? What do you think? Thanks for dropping by and saying hi, and for coming on the chat and talking with me. I don't think YouTube has friend requests, so I think you can just subscribe to my channel and see what videos I'm putting out there. We can have this chat in the chat, literally here. So if that's something, if that's what you're referring to. And thanks for dropping by, and I appreciate you saying I look ready for anything. I'm not sure I'm ready for anything, but I general, average, everyday life, I'd say we're pretty well prepared for, indeed. And that's probably a good thing. So we're just easing into a warm-up here, letting the body prepare itself and adapt to what's about to happen, because snatches are nothing to sniff at, so to speak. So yeah, for those of you who are watching, if you're interested, maybe you can tell me where you are on your fitness journey and what it is that you do. Do you work out with kettlebells like these? Do you hit the gym very often? If you hit the gym, what do you do? Heavy lifting, Olympic lifting, machines, bodybuilding, CrossFit, high rocks. Maybe you're training for a specific event or anything else. You let me know. I'd love to hear from you. What you're up to and what you do. So for myself, I train to keep fit for day-to-day life, general living. And the reason for that is quite simple. I am 40 years old. It is just a biological fact. At 40, we actually begin to have to work harder to maintain the same level of fitness that we have on the day we turn 40, because biology begins to work against us. So what I think we sometimes forget is that it is simply a necessity of life after 40 to not only go out for runs and walks, which is a part of staying healthy overall, but it is also the combination of conditioning and strength training, mobility training, to ground our body, the freedom of motion and the full range of motion, as well as increasing the amount of muscle we have, because that will help keep us strong and capable throughout life, whatever life is going to throw at us first. So just keep that in mind. I'm just going to do a little flow to warm up the body. So just keep that in mind as you watch these videos. You might be in your 30s, you might be in your 20s, nothing to worry about in your 20s. I know when I was in my 20s, for some reason, everything worked. Everything was possible physically. Nothing could stop me. I could run through a brick wall. But then, going to single-handed, then something changed. And it is just technology friends. So, for those of you who are watching, my name is Toby. I am 40 years old, and I train to live an active, self-sufficient, and adventurous life. The way I do that is I'm mindful about my sleep. I try to sleep between 7 to 9 hours on a night. I'm mindful about what I eat. I try to eat generally within my energy balance. I try to eat healthy and wholesome foods. And I try to eat about 120 grams to 150 grams of protein every day to support my efforts to maintain and build muscle. Now, if that is something that you are interested in, you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and we can continue this conversation together like I have with about 100 of you. Over the last year. All right. So on the next minute, we are going to start with the snatches. 5 times left, 5 times right. 10 sets. Then we're going to move on with some other work. Well, in the meantime, in the chat, you can let me know what you're up to. First set down, waiting for a minute. What you get up to for health and fitness, and whether you subscribe to this idea of having to work harder at staying healthy after 40, and what it is that you do to accomplish that goal, because always like to hear and learn from other people what they're doing. There might be things that I can add or change when it comes to my plan. Because staying healthy and fit is quite challenging. I talk about why I work out between 5 and 6 in the morning. That's because between 5 and 6, everyone else in the house is sleeping. After 6, the window of opportunity begins to close because people begin to wake up. And then my responsibilities to other people. Start. Third set. So, I have scheduled my workouts around this idea of being able to do it before everyone wakes up. Fourth set. Just remember, for the kettlebell snatch test, you need to be able to do this for 10 minutes with a 20 kilo non-stop, or about 20 times in a minute. Fifth set. Halfway point. 5 more to go. Whew. And we're not doing anything crazy. Today we have a 12 kilo. And we're doing around 50 snatches. This is not a beginner exercise, by the way. So, just in case you've never picked up a kettlebell, there's a path to snatches that we need to follow to prevent injuries. Going on to the 7th set. So hey, if you're interested in kettlebell, I have some beginner tutorials, and things on my channel. For those of you who just started watching, my name is Toby, I'm 40 years old, and I train to live an active, self-sufficient, and adventurous life. The way I do that is I'm mindful of my sleep, mindful of what I eat, strength, conditioning, mobility training, do things I enjoy, spend time with people I love and care about, and generally try to live a stress-free life. If that's something you're interested in, check out my channel, go ahead and subscribe, and we can continue this conversation. to the 8th set. 3 more to go. And this is quite the exercise, and I understand better and better why they would call it the Tsar of the kettlebell exercises. Going to the 9th set. 2 more to go. Need to be mindful of the left side. Kettlebell is all about technique, building that foundational strength, and then building the strength and conditioning over time to be able to do things like this. You can notice towards the end that it gets harder and harder. Again, a reminder to focus, proper technique, and to get this done, because principle number 1, don't get injured. All right, I'm going to take a minute, and we're going to move on to something else. It's a glass of water, by the way, because on top of everything else that we're doing, we're trying to learn how easy or hard it is to adapt and adapt habits or adopt new ones for a healthier and fitter life and lifestyle. So hey, if that's something you're interested in, listen up. So 4 weeks ago we started with a glass of water, and trying to add one glass of water anywhere throughout the day to learn how difficult it is to consistently pick up a new habit that is so simple. It's something you would generally mindlessly do throughout the day, but now to make it very specific and concrete. Then we looked at adding a 10-minute walk to understand how the structure of our life would or would not allow us to would not allow us to add exercise to any of the days of the week and which days we are more able to maybe slip in 10, 15, 20 minutes of exercise. So understanding not only how habits change and how we learn new ones, but also understanding how the structures of our day-to-day work for or against us in order to adopt healthier habits and a healthier lifestyle. Then the third week, we talked about sleep and how important that is because we grow stronger when we're resting, and how we can create a 15-minute wind down, thinking about how many hours of sleep we actually want, setting a time for that, and then also looking at the course of the remainder of our day. Looking at the remainder of our day, how to plan around our day and our activities to find those 15 minutes, 2 more sets of cleans, by the way. So that's something to be aware of and stay aware of. And then this week, we're focusing on finding that one meal and adding a portion of protein to it, which could be anywhere between 10 and 20 grams of protein. And why that matters is because that will give us insight into the flow of our nutrition and how we eat. Justin, hey Justin, thanks for dropping by and saying hi. I hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you dropping by and taking the time out of your day to ask me how I'm doing. I'm doing all right. I'm almost at the end of this morning's workout. How are you doing in your part of the world? Five of them left. Next, we're going to clean. And we're going to do 10 squats with a racked clean. One side, then next minute, 10 squats. On the other side, 1, 2, 3. By the way, the last months been focused a lot on stronger and heavier if you haven't noticed, with good results. So you can do 5 straight presses with 16 kilos on both sides now. And I think one of the miracles of training at home this year with kettlebells and mobility has been the fact that we started off with 4 and 6 kilos, and now we've graduated to 16, and by March we will have the ability, hopefully, to snatch a 16 kilo 10 times in a row. Evalis, my friend, I think the correct phrase is Privyet or Dobro Utro, because it's morning where I am. I hope you are well, and that life is treating you well, and that you're good where you are in the world. All right, people. Last one on the right, and then we're also going to do one more set on the left, one more set on the right. So putting in the work for those glutes and those quads, friends. And that core stabilizing. My God. And for anyone who's watching, just dropping by, my name is Toby. I'm 40 years old. I train to live an active, self-sufficient, and adventurous life at 40. I intend to have a lot more health at the end of my life and be as capable as I am today. So, if that's something you are interested in, you go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Check it out. Maybe we can continue this conversation of being fit in our 30s, 40s, and 50s. And the last one. And then we're going to be good. And I appreciate everyone coming into the chat and saying hi. We're almost at the end of the training. This is the final set. Squats. Next week it is December. So we're going to have to start actually thinking about our plans for the next year. But I can pretty much tell you that mine remain somewhat 8, 9, 10. Because that's the nice thing about having a general purpose with health and fitness for life. It's say, long-term plan, friends. All right, now, after activating my nervous system and priming myself for action, we need to calm down. Great moment to have that extra glass of water for the day. Friends, health and fitness is not a given, even though it might feel like that when you're healthy. I had a neck hernia, regained mobility in my left shoulder, struggling with a slightly tight hip on the left side, not being able to do a toddler squat at the beginning of the year. But here we are, a year later, being able to do that and being able to snatch 50 times with a 12 kilo overhead, I think shows that with consistency, proper training, technique, and time, the body is quite adjustable and can get stronger and healthier from where we start off. I sit a lot. Sarcopenia is an issue. I try to move a lot, try to take stairs at work, try to do little things that generally accumulate over the course of 364 days to a healthier me. But that's just me and my philosophy on health and fitness. If you're interested, if you want to keep chatting with me on this journey, you go ahead and subscribe to this channel. KRSTNT, so what? Justin, thanks for dropping by, saying hi. Justin, I'm not sure, I think I might have seen you on this channel before. And Ivan, it's always good for you to drop by and say hi. I hope you're well where you are in the world. Remember, we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. It's the person we are today who's going to get us to where we want to be tomorrow. So a bit of kindness probably is going to motivate us, because there are enough people out in the world who want to put us down. So let's lift ourselves up. All right, friends. And the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. So help me get to 1,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care, friends.